Hey Joe fans, I'm JoeFan82 here with another action figure review. Today I'm looking at the G.I. Joe Retro Series Scarlett figure from Hasbro. This figure was released last year in 2020, and this is the figure in the package. We've got the nice retro card art there on the packaging. Her name is right below the logo, and you can see the figure and her accessories there in the bubble. Here's the back of the card. The G.I. Joe logo is there on the top with the file card, cross-sell for the other figures in waves 1 and 2, and then a bunch of legal stuff there on the bottom, including multiple languages. Let's take a closer look at the file card. Here it is. It says her name is Shayna M. O'Hara, role counterintelligence, primary specialty intelligence, secondary is classified, birthplace Atlanta, Georgia. And it says she began martial arts training at age 9 and was awarded her first black belt at age 15. And that is repeated there in multiple languages for distribution in other countries. And here's a closer look at that cross-sell with the other figures in the line. Here she is out of the package, and she is of course based on the vintage figure and retro original appearance for Scarlett. And I think they did a pretty good job of coming close to what she looked like originally. Her head sculpt is a pretty big improvement over what we've seen in the past for Scarlett. Unfortunately, mine has a little spot there on the forehead right out of the package, and I don't know if it could just be me, but she has a little bit of cross-eyed eyes there. Other than that, her paint apps are great, and the hair, while it looks a little unrealistic because it's all that bright red instead of a more toned down red. But her hair looks great, great sculpt, nice detail in that, and her ponytail is attached. It's all one piece. You don't have to worry about it falling off. And it is a little bit malleable, so you can move it around. And yeah, great sculpt. And she's wearing her sort of mustardy yellow unitard there. And over her right shoulder she has that red piece that unfortunately is just drawn on here. It's not sculpted on like we saw in the 25th anniversary figure. She's got a brown belt with a silver buckle, a couple pouches, and some gloves which are a little bit lighter shade than her unitard there. Some people are upset she doesn't have the gloves with the stars, but these are the gloves they went with. The rest of her uniform is a dark gray color. I think this figure does a good balance with making her not look like she's wearing tights, but still looking feminine. There is some wrinkles sculpted into what she's wearing on her legs, so it looks like she's actually wearing a material there. She's got a big pouch on her left thigh and a red band around her right, and the boots are the same color as her gloves. Her head is on a ball joint. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that big of a range of motion, only a slight up and down. But because her ponytail is a little malleable, she does have a full 360. Turning it around, it's just up and down, not much there, unfortunately. Her shoulders can do a full 360 and come up about so far. She has single jointed elbows, not quite 90-degree bend, but a full 360 turn at the elbow, and a 360-degree turn here at her wrist with those gloves on. She's got a joint here right below her chest, which is not very well concealed here on this figure, and no joint there at the waist. Her legs come up about that far, not too far up, and they come straight up, and she does have double jointed knees, which are very, very sturdy, especially for female figures. Sometimes with the female figures you get kind of fragile knees, but these are pretty strong. No joint there at the boot top, but right there at the top of the foot, full 360, and then a nice up and down joint as well. She comes with a standard G.I. Joe modern figure stand. It got the G.I. Joe logo and her name on the front, and a quiver for her arrows, all black plastic. Her arrows are not removable. Kind of a basic sculpt. How many arrows is that? 4 arrows, and then has a peg on the back, and that slides into her back, and it's pretty long, and it's actually pretty sturdy. You just got to move her hair out of the way. She comes with this crossbow, which in my opinion is a little too large. It's about the same length, almost close to the same length as the classified one for the 6-inch. And it's a nice sculpt, and overall it's a nice piece, but I think it's just too large for Scarlett. Some solid black web gear with a silver buckle. This is a very nice sculpt. I like the sculpt, nice detail. Unfortunately, it doesn't really fit her too well. You can see here it rises up too high on her shoulders. It's a little too big, and it just doesn't look great in my opinion. I'm probably not going to be having her use this very often. I couldn't do this video without comparing her to the 25th anniversary release. In my opinion, this new one is a much better sculpt overall. A really big improvement on that head sculpt especially. The 25th version, which was released in 2007, has longer hair on the top, and overall a sort of thinner body build. And the proportions aren't exactly right. They were okay when this figure was released, but the new one I think does a much better job at showing proper proportions. And I will say the one thing 25th version has over the new one is that red piece over her shoulder is sculpted on, as you can see here, and I think actually looks a lot better. But yeah, overall I think the new figure is a big improvement over what we got in 2007. And here is Scarlett with the retro released snake eyes, and I think they look pretty good together. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. This new figure uses full advantage of the new face printing technology that they've been using for this line so far, and I really recommend picking up this version over the 25th anniversary or any of the other regular styled Scarlett figures that you might find out there. This is a pretty decent figure. A couple things that I would have done differently, but overall a pretty good choice for a classic retro style Scarlett figure. But that's just me. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Do you think this is an improvement on Scarlett? Do you think this is a good figure, or do you prefer a different version? Let me know. And as always, if you like this video, give me a like and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.